"Papa," whispered the young boy, his voice a gentle breeze against his father's ear, as he handed him a cup of steaming, dark coffee. His father, a man with skin like rich mahogany and eyes that held the wisdom of centuries, took a sip and nodded solemnly. The year was 1791, and the air in Saint-Domingue was thick with the scent of sugarcane and the murmurs of revolt. The boy's father, Toussaint, known later as Toussaint Louverture, was a man of quiet strength, a former slave who had earned his freedom and now worked as a coachman and steward for a French plantation owner. Though the plantation house was a bastion of French opulence, the fields beyond were a tableau of brutality and despair, where the enslaved Africans toiled under the relentless sun. One evening, as the shadows grew long and the crickets began their nocturnal symphony, Toussaint gathered his fellow workers around the glow of a single candle. They had all heard whispers of change, of a revolution that had sparked in the hearts of the oppressed. "We are more than just property," Toussaint spoke with a firmness that belied his usual calm. "We are human beings with a right to freedom and dignity." The room was filled with a mix of hope and fear. Some nodded in agreement, while others cast furtive glances around, fearful that their words would be carried on the wind to the wrong ears. But Toussaint's words were like a spark in dry tinder, igniting a flame that would soon engulf the entire colony. The revolution was not a tale of whimsy. It was a tale of blood, sweat, and unyielding determination. Toussaint's strategic brilliance and unyielding spirit soon saw him rise as a leader among his people. He formed an alliance with the Spanish, who were fighting France for control of the western part of the island, and together they pushed the French into retreat. But France would not let go of its prized colony without a fight. They sent an army under the command of General Charles Leclerc, who bore the heavy burden of reasserting French control and the stain of slavery. The battles were fierce, and the casualties on both sides were numerous. Through it all, Toussaint remained steadfast. "Our fate is in our hands," he told his soldiers. "We fight not just for ourselves but for all who have suffered under the yoke of bondage." In 1802, Toussaint was captured by the French and shipped to Europe, where he died in a cold, damp cell, far from the tropical heat of his home. But his legacy lived on. The revolution continued under the leadership of Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and in 1804, Haiti declared its